wants ice cream.
What are normal people?
That's yeah, people who don't have a disability, that's what I'm referring to.
Do you think that normal people are normal?
I'm sure there's also different.
Mm-hmm. Do you think I'm normal?
Everyone's unique.
Yeah. Everyone is unique, eh?
Yeah. Like Mr. Fielder found out.
Yeah.
The hard way.
Totally.
It seems there's an unknown virus that's plaguing the city. I'm not sure what it is yet. All I can tell you is that it is viral in nature and it is communicable.
What are the symptoms?
Well, it causes your personality to change. First, you develop a love for critters and country music. There's a wide range in the symptoms and the degree of severity that affect individuals, with each individual case being unique. When a human comes in contact with a critter, the virus is spread through that contact. For example, if you were playing catch with gerbils.
Can it be cured?
Can't cure playing catch with gerbils. It's way too much fun.
Doctor, why are you doing those glasses full of stuff?
Something I've been working on. Special treatment for autism.
This is Jay, that...
This is Jay, he's the cameraman?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm basically in the first one here then.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Neil.
Hi.
This is Jay.
He's the cameraman.
You've met Jay before.
Have
he
you
was
seen
at
him?
the fundraiser.
Oh yeah, when we did that little thing.
That's Jackie. Hey, Alan. This is Jay, Alan.
I only took a minute, that's cool. Yeah, that's Jay, he's the
I was
cameraman.
by my place when I phoned.
Neil, how long have you been involved with the Autism of Society of Edmonton area?
Well, for the drama group, I've been coming for the drama group, and maybe only a few years.
You're involved with the players?
Well, yeah, I'm involved with the players, but the thing, I guess, I'm just, I have autism, basically. Guess that's pretty much how you describe it, I guess.
Yeah.
My name is Stephanie.
Stephanie? And Stephanie, how are you involved with the Autism Society?
I am involved with the Friday Night Drama Group.
You haven't actually performed at any place yet?
No.
And are you going to perform in some of the plays?
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to it.
What sort of stuff do you do with the drama group?
We write plays, and then we read. They're reading out. We sometimes perform.
Where do they come from?
We create them.
Or you write your own plays?
Yeah.
With this drama group, we write our own plays. They call it, I call it drama, they call it advocacy through theater, because for them, they're up on stage more than I am. I more facilitate the whole thing. But yeah, what we do is we write plays. We have 2 written plays that are about people with autism, for people with autism, but also for everybody else at the same time.
I'm doing my writing.
Oh yeah? What are you writing?
Yeah, stories.
About?
Well, I'm putting down some ideas for a new fantasy story.
Mm-hmm.
There's a weatherland. There's also a history land, a gardening land, a perfectionism and excellence land, and a laughing land.
Yeah. What goes on in Laughing Land besides laughing?
I haven't determined that yet.
It's now become a venue for them to be whatever they want to be. There's one guy like Neil, he loves to play female characters, then he likes to play kids, and he just likes to run the gauntlet of characters. I don't see a lot of venues or mediums out there that they have, some of them can paint.
What were you thinking when you made that?
It was social change or social, maybe about my past and how I got, shut out, or it means to be shunned out as, shunned from society, basically. When you look at the colors and especially the tape, that it's white, it's obvious. But I think it's a metaphor to me when I look at it now.
I can't really say it enough, but I just want it to be a safe environment for them to be able to do what they want. And you don't find that in classrooms. You don't find it's very regimented. It's tough for one teacher or 4 teachers to teach a room of 15 and they all have autism. Here, I'm not directly teaching them anything. I'm more giving them a place to do what they want, and then I ask them, why did you do that? And then the group talks about it. That type of thing. It's that type of learning environment.
All of a sudden, when you come into something where it seems like there's going to be a structure and it's going to be formal, but it's not. It's completely informal. It's completely unstructured, and they come because it's fun. Like, that's why I ended up wanting to come all the time and not wanting to leave, is because it's fun. You know, it's not the structure. You don't have to sit there and you don't have to do anything specific. If you want to sit there and just listen, you're allowed to, right?
So what we're worried about here is we need the audience to be able to see us, right?
Where would I be? Over
So move into me a bit, Steph.
Move more.
Okay, and twist, sort of cheat. Yeah, like that.
Okay.
So not fully towards the audience, not fully towards me, but half. Exactly.
It's oration. It's guidance. It's not so much as what they're saying. It's the fact that they're doing it. I think that just gives them a little more social. They're learning more socially about cues and voice tone and stuff like that.
So let's read it through, guys. We're gonna do it standing up. Neil, the one thing that I got a comment on was you would turn your back on the audience.
Yeah.
Never do that, buddy.
Okay.
Never turn your back on the audience. They always got to see you, right?
Right.
You got a pretty face and they got to see your pretty face. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Always make sure that you're never standing in front of somebody.
Yeah.
I did that by accident.
But that's all right. It's a learning experience, right? That's how the whole thing goes, you know. And this play isn't going to be perfect either. But the whole point is we're trying to make the next play better than the one before it, right?
Right.
So try to never stand in front of anybody, especially you, because you're a taller fella. And always try to be looking at the audience or aiming your voice towards the audience.
Okay.
Does that sound cool?
That sounds cool.
Okay.
When people ask you what autism is, what do you tell them? How would you define autism?
Well, I saw a very good commercial which would kind of explain how it is. My brain is in a blender, and sometimes it needs to go to a repair shop if it shuts down because it's going too fast.
Autism really it makes you difficult with troubles making friends. You don't really get all these little social rules that everyone takes for granted.
Yeah.
All these little rules.
I don't understand social cues. I'm really bad for that. I don't understand certain social situations either. And I get very anxious and very stressed out very easily.
If you were to compare people to a chat on the computer,
On the internet, yeah, I know.
Okay.
You can see that.
people talking in real life usually talk like as they speak, their words come out, and it's like you're typing letter per letter live, so that every time, so a person would see you typing fast or typing slow. Instead, with me, it's like everything I think is a thought, and then when I hit the return key, it all comes out.
Then it comes up. Okay.
When someone's sitting there by himself rocking, he's not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. They're just doing what they normally do. You know, some of us bite our fingernails. Some of us snap our hands or whistle, but this person rocks, you know? And have you ever been on a bus with somebody with autism? It's fairly, if you don't know what it is, it's fairly unnerving to have a guy sitting in the corner, rocking, talking to himself, going over a book and memorizing the book and then saying red car, red car, red car, and just being very oral and very sensory, I guess. And they're constantly having to react to these senses that they feel. Like a person with autism can hear a dog whistle. Like, imagine that. Imagine hearing everything going on in this room. Like right now, there's this light, and there's the computer sound, and there is my foot's itchy, and you guys are looking at me. So imagine not being able to just focus on one of those things. Imagine having to focus on all of those things. That's intense. I can barely, I have trouble doing 2 things at once.
Do you think that there's a lot of people out there who are going undiagnosed with autism?
It's true. It's possible these days. It used to happen more, I think, in earlier times.
Yeah.
Like, some of our members of our group weren't diagnosed right away either.
Do you think that it would be beneficial for younger kids to learn about autism earlier?
I think so, definitely, because I got a late diagnosis and I slipped through the system, so I think it would be definitely good for them to learn it at age 3, 4, so they wouldn't have the same challenges as I had.
And so when I was diagnosed, I was by no means surprised.
How old were you when you were diagnosed?
42.
Wow. And you didn't, for 41 years, or let's say 40 years, you didn't know anything was up, or?
Well, no, I think I sort of thought something might be up, but I couldn't put a handle on it because I wasn't dysfunctional enough. Like I could do everything life does, or try to at least. Some things it's harder than other people, I guess.
I think it usually starts to show itself when you're around 3 years old or around then. So it's lifelong. So once you got it, you're stuck with it till the day you die.
Yeah. Some people, they've dealt with people with autism before, but they haven't dealt with people with Asperger's syndrome, which is what most of the group has basically.
What's the difference between autism and Asperger's?
Asperger's is autism. It's the highest functioning form of autism. The lowest functioning form is called disintegrator disorder. Then there's Kenner syndrome above the disintegrator disorder, and then PDD, which is the second highest functioning.
So everybody your shirt.
Let me help you.
Show your shirt. Grant made this. Hey Grant. Oh, he's so humble.
Says number 1.
He's so humble. So what this is called is the Youth Drama Project. This is taking place at Old St. Steve's College on the University of Alberta campus, a room that is donated to us by Old St. Steve's College, which is very nice of them. What this project is about is basically it's for teens and young adults that are lower functioning. This is basically for kids that don't have a lot of mobility, don't have a lot of verbosity, but they still will benefit from the freedom that drama gives them, basically. Acting out things, talking about things, and using your voice, using your body, just trying to basically get them to move around and try to remember lines or try to repeat simple movements, that type of thing. So let's try to do something here, buddy. Math school. Loud.
Math school.
For secret agents. These guys are pretty emotional, trying to find their center. It's pretty tough for them as actors to try to get to where they need to be to act. There's a lot of, well, I heard Dakota Fanning's pretty tough to be around too, so let's just chalk this up to a professional learning experience. All right, Anthony. May 4th, 2005. May 4th, 2005.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Bravo, Anthony.
I am now entering a room. Okay, floor check, door check. Gravity levels remotely sufficient. This will do nicely.
The first one was called A Room, and it was something that I wrote.
It's 4 people in a room. They don't know why they're there.
I'm here for the meeting.
What meeting?
Not a clue.
Then you're in the right place.
Really?
I think so. I'm like 67% sure.
I'm looking for the room with a group of people who... Oh, what's it again?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's about a group of people who are in a room, and they don't know why they're in the room. They just know that it's the room that they like to be in, and that they're allowed to be there, and that they have every right to be there.
You were hit by lightning?
Yep, right in the face.
What did it feel like?
Ah, it felt like popcorn.
I knew it.
I like this room.
This room has 567 tiles on its north wall. Sorry, 568. There was a little sneaky one on the corner that I didn't see.
They have all these conversations. Mr. Fielder comes in, tries to make them leave. You aren't supposed to be in here. I have a meeting scheduled for this room in under an hour.
It's kind of interesting. In a room, there's the one guy who's supposedly the normal guy.
I have a very important person coming from a very important place, talking about very important things that have to do with a lot of stuff. Business stuff.
Business stuff?
Yes, move it.
Move what?
Move the chairs?
Does he want us to move the room?
He comes in, and all of a sudden, he's not the normal guy anymore.
All of you don't get out of here soon. I'm gonna call security.
Actually, in your case, shouldn't you call insecurity?
Nice.
Why are you all doing this to me? Sticking a so-called normal person in quotes.
Yeah.
And putting it in a room full of people with autism.
Yeah.
And he turns out to be the one who's acting unusual. You're all gonna have to leave. Stop drawing me. I said stop drawing me. You're making me feel uncomfortable.
I wouldn't make her angry, man. She can take a lightning bolt to the face.
Craig destroys his car with lightning.
Who's Craig?
One of the characters.
And he can make lightning to destroy
Yeah, with a
things?
magic wand.
They all have autism, but he's the odd one out because they outnumber him, and it's just like society. The only reason that one thing's normal and one thing's abnormal is because a group of people are doing more of the same thing. That doesn't mean it's, any better.
Do you think that that's part of your method of educating people and encouraging them to question what's normal, what's acceptable?
Yeah, that when you just said there kind of actually reminds me of this story I once read. Two kingdoms, Upriver Kingdom and a Downriver Kingdom. And at first they have two pretty good kings. The king of the Upriver Kingdom dies and his son replaces him. But his son isn't as experienced, so he's not the greatest king. The Downriver Kingdom king sort of foresees this. And he tells all his people to gather as much water from the river as they can ahead of time. But, it's a hierarchy, it's a kingdom. So different people have different amount of storage space for the water. And the Upriver Kingdom, they start polluting the water in the river. So as everybody runs out of water, first you start getting murmurs of uprising, but it doesn't get too big. And then it starts going up and up and up. And basically everybody has been declared insane by this point. And when it finally gets to the king and the king runs out of water, he drinks from the river. And they say, "Yay, the king is sane again." Basically everybody went insane, so they couldn't tell the difference between sane and insane.
So we're gonna meet here next week at about 6.
Okay.
Because then we're gonna head down to the big gala. Not the gala.
The Nova?
Something else. Yeah. And we'll just all go down there.
And it's not going to be a problem for me this time because I can pick my schedule.
Cool.
So I'll do a 7 to 3.
I'll talk to
Okay, so I come in and stay standing.
Yeah. You don't sit. There's only one point in here that you sit.
Cool.
So you're gonna have to hold on to it.
CNN is going to be here,
Okay.
and they were here this morning, and those guys are from New York. It's funny, there's 3 documentaries going on right now, all about autism. So it's going to be very neat.
You missed one of my stage directions. That's okay.
That's okay. Everybody's here to remind you, and you're here to remind everybody.
No, in the script.
Oh.
So I had.
Which
I'm
one
supposed
did
to
I not write
stand
it
up
down?
with the one, and it's not. It's okay, Trent. Everybody makes mistakes.
I make a lot, though.
And you're human.
You know to stand up, right? So.
If you,
Yes,
if you
he
weren't
just
human,
spells
you wouldn't
words
think
like blah.
So my name is Trent Wilkie. What I do for the Autism Society of Edmonton is I run a drama group. Tonight we have a performance for you of a drama group doing a drama performance. Now if you could turn to the person to your right and say, "Hey, can I borrow $5? Go ahead and do that now." Hey, can I borrow $5? So we're going to do a little show. It's called A Room. It is something that we have written, the group behind the curtain. It is about your body being your temple, and that temple is only known to you. So without further ado, further. I'm from the East Coast, right? So it's further. I give you A Room by the Autism Society Players.
Back when I was stupider, back when I thought I knew everything, I have trouble telling the story, not because it doesn't make any sense, it's just that I don't understand what happened. I was the manager of a small office, a small building, a small part of town. That really isn't worth mentioning. What is worth mentioning is a certain part of the building, one room in particular. This room, well, it was different.
I'm now entering a room. Gravity level sufficient. Nicely.
Have you ever been struck by lightning?
I'm not sure, have you?
Not to my knowledge.
I have lots.
Really?
Nope, I just wanted your attention.
And what do these people do?
First they look at me weirdly as if they can't understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like I'm somehow offending them.
I get it too.
Me too.
I get those looks on the bus.
It's so frustrating because I have no idea why these things happen. I mean, why is it so upsetting for people to watch someone do something that naturally occurs to them?
Sometimes I think that I don't understand people just as much as they don't understand me. Like, why do guys honk their horns at girls on the street? Is that supposed to do something? Like, are the girls supposed to chase after the cars or something?
What are you doing here?
I'm sorry, we had the room booked.
Who did you book this room with?
Online with roombooker.com. It was fast, easy, and free.
Did you even attempt to sign out this room?
It's usually open.
So you just assumed.
So basically, we're now dealing with something that you expected to be a certain way, and now that it isn't, it's our fault?
Idiots!
Can I show you guys something weird?
I like weird.
Electroball, just a kiss.
Yeah. My car just disappeared. I have no idea what is going on right
I
now.
don't see this.
Cars can't just disappear, can they?
I'm not sure. I guess like anything, it's about perspective. It's just how you look at it. Do you know what I mean?
Perspective?
Yeah, like art. How one person sees something, another might see completely different. Like for example, when you see someone acting weird, they just may be doing what's normal to them.
What does this have to do with my car disappearing?
It's totally gone. I mean, it was probably stolen.
That was the only car I had.
And right now, this is the only room we have. Come on.
And that, my friends, is exactly what happened all those years ago. Well, sorta. I'm still not too sure what happened to my car that day, but the fact that I went back into that room is the important part. You see, it placed all my insecurities and personal problems in those guys. I got mad at them for my problems just because, at a social level, they acted different from me. Everyone here in this room leads a different life. Everyone here has different problems. Thus, everyone here, meaning you, is the same except different. And some people's differences are more obvious than others.
It went really well for my first time, thanks.
Besides that Steph nearly I thought would miss her one, I placed everything a certain way quietly. That I thought was foolproof, but it went okay. I'm trying to calm my nervousness down, I could feel it.
Do you guys look forward to drama?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you look?
Yeah. I like the acting part.
Yeah.
And getting where you're not having to be yourself for an hour.
It seems to me that since he's been coming here, he just shines. He's just like any ordinary Joe. He comes in and he hams it up and he jokes with people and it's really, really nice to see.
I was looking for a support group because I have Asperger's. I was diagnosed 2 years ago. And I couldn't find a support group, but in talking to Karen, she suggested I come to Trent's Friday Night Drama Group.
The one thing that's a little bit of something different to do, I get to see some people that are other than the people I work with, because I never see anybody socially very much these days. Mm-hmm. And I think much of it is because a lot of social things really require to be one with a lot of money.
When I first started it, I started in drama because I was looking to develop patience.
I think it's because I needed some support and a place where I felt safe and it helped me communicate with and share my feelings without being judged.
And then I started getting into it. I started coming back to it because it was helping me with social skills.
What was I treated for before? Oh yeah, I was counseled for depression. Then I went through shyness. I remember shyness therapy. I think it's sort of like a therapeutic benefit, I wonder.
It's been a lot of fun. I look forward to my Fridays. I'm not being judged. I'm with a bunch of people who are the same as me, so it's a very friendly atmosphere.
You would rather be a character. If we're gonna do a video, you want to be a character.
Yeah, not me.
Do you like escapism?
I was younger, I used to like getting into characters, but it'd always be in an unhealthy way, and this way I can get into characters in a safe and healthy way.
Do you think you're less shy now that you come to drama and you talk to people?
I'm thinking in one line because I'm struggling with sentences. I'm thinking in this, cryptic, coming out of my shell, basically sums up.
May I ask?
Because I hardly talk. There's not any high acidity in it. The orange juice, when I saw it, no, it's too high. I don't know, over that Shane Doan controversy or whatever, she could tolerate bananas because of potassium. They say it's the Frenchies. I know, Denis Coderre. I was on Wikipedia trying to pinpoint who's trying to... Yeah, no, that's what the committee was on. I even drank this to go to bed, to sleep. I know her because she has a sister as well, and she's the... because her sister, it's like me and my sister, she's the more, but she's actually not bad. His cousin-in-law, I looked this up, was an Olympist. I know milk is supposed to be the thing, but I don't know if I could take a lot of milk. I could take a lot of this, no problem. And then he has a sister that they did an interview with, and she's involved in basketball. And of course, I'm eating stuff with no wheat, so I had a lot of, that's why I actually had pie. And there's a petition, I believe, and on that petition, you can go, I think it's savedome.ca, because it's potatoes and carrots. I had split pea for lunch. I'm half French, and that's who's, I think it's a political smear now. I had butter chicken, basmati rice, and I think the sauce. I want this over with and off the channel, if you please. Because I hardly talk.
Adam usually plays Dirk, and Adam will show up halfway through, in pure Adam fashion. So we're going to start over again because Adam's here. Now we have somebody to actually play it. Guess who's here? Take a guess. Guess who's here?
Adam.
Guess who's here? Adam's here! What do you mean the rain's horrible? You look fine. I'm not the rain. Talk about overreact. Yeah. Facilitating a safe area where they can be whoever they want is it's pretty cool for me and for them. And they're pretty solid guys. I can do whatever I want around them. It's pretty awesome. I'm the normal one, and I'm not used to that.
Tell me a little bit about Trent. What's he like to work with? What kind of guy is he?
Mostly funny.
He's pretty funny.
How was your week, Neil?
It was good.
Yeah? What'd you do? Rob any banks?
No, I didn't.
Steph isn't a pro boom mic operator, so there's going to be other
Did
people.
you call me Steph again? I'm just going to leave.
Oh, I've been drinking all day, Sasha. Yeah, it's a good riff in there. You're a son of a... You're fired, Jay. Did you get arrested?
No.
Did you rob any banks?
No, did you rob me, Banks?
No.
Trent is very unconventional, but they love it. They love it. It works.
I can't read either. I think it's all the beer we've been drinking all day. Hey, fellas? You got any new tattoos?
No, I didn't.
No? How many do you have now? How many tattoos do you have
I don't
now?
have any.
Oh, okay. I thought you had like 6 or 7.
He keeps talking about unicorns and ponies.
Do you have any unicorn tattoos?
No. Should I get a unicorn tattoo?
I was joking around. You always you always joke about unicorn.
Yes. Why are you guys so mad at me today? I'm just trying to be your buddy.
Hey, we're not mad.
Yeah.
I'm never mad.
Are they mad at
Sure
you
you are.
because
That's
you
what they
robbed the
will
bank
get
when
you.
they do business at?
It's like they think we are a form of an alien shark hybrid that just loves robbing banks.
Hi.
Hi, Trent.
How you doing? Hey.
I haven't been robbing banks lately.
Okay. That's a lie. I've only robbed one bank. Steph, no making fun of me back there.
No, I can't
No robbing banks, Trent.
Hey, you know what today is? Today is No Robbing Bank Jokes Day.
Oh,
Okay?
good.
International, actually.
You started it.
Alright, everybody, calm down.
Sometimes a little crazy.
He's drinking too much of that bad water.
One of the plays we've done is called Autism versus Mitchism.
That play was written by me and the gentleman Neil Michelonis, and it's actually quite witty. I didn't realize what it was at first. He created this disease called Mitchism.
What's Mitchism?
It's about a new infectious disease, a virus called the Mitch virus, that changes your personality in odd ways.
And Mitchism is a viral strain of the flu almost.
Like, for example, you love country music. You like critters, dancing, you're a wimp, you're sensitive to the cold, you contract the common cold easily.
And they are very cautious drivers.
You're stubborn, you're strong-willed, you're adventurous.
It's basically a disease with all these obscure type of effects to it. And it is discovered, or we think it's discovered, by an autism researcher. Now, the thing that I found was very witty was that autism is also a bunch of obscurities. You know, it's rocking. It's a person really liking certain types of patterns, and will always fixate on patterns, or just talk about trains. So there's that type of obscure. And the play is basically about how people are constantly confusing Mitchism with autism. So we get to explain what autism is, and then in a way show what autism is by people confusing it with something that is extremely obscure.
Actually, but I used to have a staff in transitions whose name was Mitch. Her personality involved a lot of these characteristics.
Mitchism based on a real person that you know?
Neil knows. It was based on one of his caregivers. Her name was Micah, and all her friends called her Mitch. I've never met the woman. I'm sure she's very nice. But she likes country music, and she's a cautious driver, and she likes critters and loves horseback riding. She's a hopeless romantic. So basically, Neil turned this girl into a very serious illness.
Okay, somewhere in Canada, the year 2010, leading autism researcher Dr. Stanley Powell is working on treatments for autism and autism spectrum-related conditions. During his research, he has come across something he has never expected. Was it an accident? Was it on purpose? What you get when you cross a giraffe with a wiener dog? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. These are some of the questions you, our audience, will be asking yourselves. No, you, not me. But first, the doctor has called the news conference to ease the minds of the inquisitive masses.
What do you do for a living, Katie?
I was, a professional basketball player in that WNBA. But currently I'm a teacher's assistant. I intend to go back to basketball soon.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty obscure.
Could you dunk?
I bet she could. I bet she could jam.
What's jam?
That's when you go upside down.
Upside down? That blows my mind.
That sounds like a very nice name.
Yeah, nice name, bad virus. Changes your personality, affects your behavior.
Do you think my son has the Mitch virus?
No.
He has the Mitch virus. My son is dreadfully infected with the Mitch virus.
No, Katie. Calm down, Katie. Katie. Your son doesn't have the... Katie! Your son doesn't have the Mitch virus. Your son has autism. Katie, calm down!
Sorry, this is all a little overwhelming.
That's fine.
And then the whole volunteer started staging shirts, which I thought it was so odd because most of the people were very sweaty and it totally freaked me out. I had to wear anyone else's sweater shirt. I could barely stand my own sweat.
Holy cow!
Hey, cows can't be breeze.
I guess you could be if you ordained them.
Do you feel like we're having a Scooby-Doo moment?
Can I be Shaggy?
Yes, of course. Shaggy could dunk.
Nice.
Let's go figure out what's going on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great job. All right, how do you feel about that, Adam?
His script still got better. That's interesting.
Good. All right, we're done for the day. Good job, Chels.
Good job, yeah.
High fives. Any questions before next week?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll just email you that part.
Yeah, change. See the word, like the reason I wanted to use the word reconnoiter because it's an old Western term, and you're supposed to be a cowboy, right? So like when you come in, you'll be like, good, we're gonna mosey on up to Graceland and the Grand Old Opry. Then
I don't know if I'll be able to do that.
You don't have to do it that way. I'm just sort of like, giving you an example. But yeah, you just do your thing, and if you have to change some of the words around, let me know.
Perfect.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Okay, my name is Trent. Thank you for coming. Right off the bat, I would like to ask everybody to turn off their cell phones and pagers, if they could. That would be really awesome. And another thing right off the bat, I'd like to thank you all for coming out tonight. I did not expect this many people. I'd also like to thank TELUS for basically funding us. This is, you see a lot of the cameras and a lot of the lights. This is going to be filmed tonight for a documentary that TELUS has given us money to make about the players. So this show is called Autism versus Mitchism. The players do something that's called reader's theater, which means they have their scripts in hand. It helps them get through the show and alleviates a lot of stress, gets them focused, and so they can do their thing. We don't want it to be uncomfortable for them because this is for them as much as it is for you. In fact, it's a little bit more for them. I hate to take away from your experience tonight, but it's their show. And I'm going to check with our players, and then we're going to get going. Good, now be through up.
Wow, they shouldn't call them press conferences. They should call them de-press conferences.
I'll be calling another press conference when I figure out more about this virus. I'm halting all my research on autism to focus on this dreadful viral confusion. I'm sorry, but I now have to get back to the hospital. Have a good day. Don't touch my stuff. And how's your son doing right now?
Well, he's fine, I guess. It's just becoming tougher to understand him, you know?
Go on.
Well, he won't sleep. It's becoming so difficult for me because I can't get all the sleep I need to function normally. Like, for example, this morning, when I was trying to heat up my coffee in the microwave, and I couldn't get the door open. It took me about 10 minutes, or was that 15, to realize there was a television set.
Autism is a neurological condition. The Mitch virus is an infectious disease. It makes you love country music and critters and dancing. They are two completely different things.
I try to communicate with him, but it's very difficult, and most of the time I just feel like there is nothing I can do. But then sometimes he does the most wonderful things. I just wish I could see what was going on inside his head.
Sally and I have autism.
You do?
Yep.
How do you feel?
You mean to touch or more emotionally?
Either will do, I guess.
Sir, have you been drinking expired cough syrup?
Yes. I mean, no, I haven't. Hey, isn't that Leonard Cohen?
They contract the common cold very easily.
It's contagious? Autism is contagious?
You are not very good at your job.
No.
Are you?
Not really.
There must be something we could do about it.
About autism?
No, the Mitch virus. Aren't you paying attention?
Sorry, I've been feeling a bit lightheaded lately. I'm not quite myself.
Oh, what do you mean?
I'm not feeling too good. Have you ever read Garth Brooks' timely novella? It's been lonely in the saddle since my horse died.
Oh
no! Wait, where are you going? Can I borrow a jacket or any romance novels? Maybe a saddle for the horse I'm gonna buy?
Oh, Dirk. Did you find a love letter for me out there with some roses on it from a secret admirer, maybe?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's too bad.
Doctor, I think we have a problem.
What is it, my little cowpoke?
I think you may have caught the Mitch virus.
No, not me. Doctors don't get sick.
Okay, who's better, Conway Twitty or Led Zeppelin?
Well, Doc, Conway Twitty's a harmonious mastermind.
I see.
Bubble wrap, I love it because it just makes a popping sound that reminds me of the sound my heart made when Captain Forever died.
Holy crap.
Why won't somebody just buy me a pony?
I don't think I've ever felt this uncomfortable.
My life is a sad song sung by a lonely unicorn.
The Mitch virus. The doctor created the Mitch virus. I mean, hi guys, how's it going?
Dirk, I knew you were behind this.
I was not. I just wanted to help the doctor with his autism research. It was going very well. I can understand sarcasm now.
Oh, really?
Sarcasm?
He's right, you know.
Remember the immortal words of Johnny Cash, it takes teamwork to make a dream work.
Hell?
Okay, he could have said it. I'm sorry I couldn't help you with your son.
You are helping, though, with your research.
I know, but it's tough.
Yeah, well, so is being a mom.
Putting your hands over your eyes does not make you invisible.
But it makes you invisible.
I'm going to make sure they don't kill each other.
I'm just going to stay here and read.
Okay.
Well, you ready to hit the trails, partner?
You bet. I thought they'd never leave.
Good, now come get a move on. I've got my pickup double parked, so nobody touches it while I reconnoiter the situation. Come along now. Time to get your comeuppance. Yeehaw! Crap, where'd I leave my guns?
Well, maybe I'll just start my research again tomorrow. And,
Can you tell any stories about players who have improved as a result of the creativity?
Every person that's in the group now has changed. I consider it drastic, because for the first few months there was no talking, and they were all embarrassed and they were all shy, but now it's the opposite. It's hard to get them focused because they've become friends and they're having the same conversation all at the same time. Well, different conversation all at the same time, and they're trying to converse, and I'm trying to get this going, and they're talking about their weekends with each other, and it's becoming this whole social upheaval within themselves. So socially, it's something that I don't think they have. It's an environment where they can make friends who are their peers.
If an audience sees your play, what do you hope they take from it?
Hopefully they enjoy themselves, have a good time, and maybe learn a bit about autism.
The first time I saw you guys perform, it was for the Autism Society. But the second time it was for the public group, and I had a lot of my friends come, and they were kind of, even before, like I saw it breaking down boundaries, because they were actually interested in not only what autism is, but saying, well, I didn't think they could think that way, or I didn't know they could talk like that, or, you know, they didn't really know any information on it. So I thought it broke down boundaries in the first place, just knowing about it. But then when they came and saw it, they're like, well, should I laugh? They didn't know if they laughed, it would be laughing at them or laughing with them. And then they realized, they're like, no, they're funny, like they have better humor than I do, you know, so.
What do you think people generally need to learn most about autism?
I think one of the things they need to learn most about autism is that not everybody with autism is the same.
Just because we have Asperger's doesn't mean we're different from anybody else. We're just different in our own way. But we're still normal human beings. We do everything like everybody else. We put 2 shoes on in the morning before we go anywhere.
Their families have been through a lot too. And without their families being here, these guys wouldn't be here. I never would have met them.
So what do people with autism need, do you think, most?
Acceptance, support, understanding.
I have a very supportive family. They're always there for me. They're always like loving and supportive. So like they help me get to where I am today.
And to realize that these aren't stupid people. Most people with autism have above average intelligences. They're extremely bright. They just have problems with the basic things in life sometimes. But not all of them. You know, they just like have a conversation with them. Don't even say them. Don't even say that guy has autism. Don't even say that. That's irrelevant. It's a human being that's rocking. But that's it. You know, they're just humans. They're just doing her up. They're just trying to be alive like us. We're all just trees racing for the sun, right?
What do you think it is, I guess, that people with autism need most?
To be accepted, to be understood, to just be okay being who they are. And that certainly is the situation here. And I have personally not had a lot of experience with people with autism, other than this one young man. And again, he's pretty high functioning and everything. But for even for somebody like me who's worked with special needs, you still have your little ideas that, you know, it's going to be difficult to talk to these people or hard to come up with topics of conversation or, you know, and I have really noticed the people in this group are just, they're just wonderful. I've just really, my eyes have been opened. I realized, and I think that was when really, that I had a bias, that I had this preconceived idea that these people would be difficult, you know, and they're not at all. And it's just really opened my eyes.
Autism is a very interesting affliction because if everybody started to accept differences in other people, that transcends every social problem. That transcends race problems, that transcends class problems, that transcends everything. So imagine if you can put up with the guy who's constantly yelling out car makers and every time he sees a red car he cover up his eyes. Imagine accepting that and just saying, well, he has autism. Imagine being able to do that with people that, you know, you have your own little problems with. Like your neighbor, you can't stand the fact that your neighbor always has a shower at the same time with you. Like, imagine these little things. If you could become used to this, the world would, especially Canada. You know, we're a cultural mecca. We're a melting pot. And just imagine if you didn't have a problem with anybody, or you could deal with it better just by accepting it as that's who they are, without thinking that you can change them.
No one else, love, will sleep in my dreams. You will go, we will go over the sands of time. No one else I'd rather find. You will go, we will go.
There aren't anywhere else.
And that water that you've got in your backpack there, what kind of water is that?
It filters. It's got filters in it.
For 30 days on your money back. Yeah. Side effects may include an increase in laughter.
Somebody I knew a long time ago. Her name was Mitch. She was called Mitch, and she used the name Critter Sitter.
Yeah, Critter Sitter.
I just want to say one thing is that autism is not a life sentence, and your life is not your label, because I can do many things I've been told not to do because I didn't listen to all the naysayers.
Oui, petit peu.
Petit peu?
A little bit. A petit peu, yeah, a little bit.
Thank you all for coming to our show featuring people like all of us here. Different in our own mysteriously special way. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. You may applaud now.
How long have you guys been interested in doing drama and stuff like that?
We started in the later spring of 2005. We're going around. We've done another play called A Room. And then we did this one. And then, well, we don't really have any others. But we do kind of do short scripts and just stuff and kind of fool around a lot. Trent makes fun of them.
And then he complains when we make fun of him.
The script that Neil came up, I thought, cool. Because I come from an artistic background anyways, I thought it was cool, and then when Trent tweaks it, I thought it's even more cooler, then it keeps, you know, refreshed, so it's kind of in a sense that drama is about. It keeps us refreshed, focused, you know,
Especially
therapeutic.
when we don't expect the line change.
Yeah.
What about the lonely unicorn?
Yeah, he keeps changing the script on us.
Really, there's no point in us memorizing because what we memorize is outdated the next time.
Edited all the swears that Neil put in.
You also put in a whole bunch of silly stuff about ponies and unicorns.
Did you want to take your shirt off now?
I wanted to take it off later.
Great.
When do I get to kiss both you guys?